Morning everyone, how are we doing? Welcome along. Hope we're all good this morning. Hoping for a interesting stream again. Oh, I know I'm going to get an interest from my steering wheel playing up. See if it's going to actually do anything or whether it's going to cause issues. I'm going with the latter. So welcome along to Stephen and AC Driving. So it's still on the same day in game. I did swap the XML back for the soybeans last night. I wasn't too keen on how white they looked with the one I'd put in. So I put this one back in what I had before. Morning Sonata, how are we doing? So we need to go and get that last field of canola cut first. Steering wheel is functioning at the moment. The buttons are, that'll never last. Be prepared for the shop menu to pop up numerous times, you'll know when it starts misbehaving. We'll do the Fenland trick here. No cars on the road, we'll take the combine down the road. Morning Terry, how are we doing? You got your electric back yet? Didn't forget to put 10 pence in the meter, did you? No signs were harmed in the moving of this combine. Mind you, inflation, that's probably a pound now, not 10 pence. See this lovely stubble texture going. Can't miss any of this stuff, it's like black gold. It's one of those nicknames in the real world around this way on the Goodyear. Black gold. No, they haven't, Terry. I'm still on the old one. So if we see the occasional shop screen pop up, only got an email a few minutes ago saying that had been left the depot. So it depends when the van is coming to this bit. Touch wood, it's actually working at the moment. Or maybe not, it's stopped again already. No, it's working again. It's going to be one of them streams again. So after seeing yesterday's video, I'm going to have to see about trying to do a few more real life farming ones. That seemed to have gone down quite well. So if we could just get a trailer full off this field, it's still a good amount of money for us. There's no telling what Amazon around this way. Some days it's lunchtime, other days it's 6 o'clock. If I do see the van pull up, I'll have to just disappear for a couple of minutes. Get that. Yep, quite possibly Terror. I've done it before when I've streamed on a Sunday morning. Pretty accurate for tram lines where you bounce through them like that. Previous farm manager I worked for suggested I cut a field crossways 1 year when I took over on the combine from him. That didn't last very long. Came back and I was going with tram lines again. Couldn't work out why. Well, I said it might work for the neighbours who's got 2 combines and 4 trailers in the field. We've got 1 combine and 1 trailer, and the poor trailer drivers having to follow us all around the field instead of being distributed around the field. Also pointed out that the neighbours' combines had twice the cut width of our one. Hey Ozzy, how are we doing? Hey Nathan, welcome along. I managed to tap to it with the steering wheel. All good, thanks. Probably go round bale that wheat field, then those bales will go down the dairy yard. Morning Elite, how are we doing? Do round bales on it because I'll take more of them on a load. As soon as Dorset's updated his straw barns for seasons, I'll put one of them up on here somewhere and we'll get the big bale chasers back. I don't tend to get much issue rolling around bales on here. Honestly, I've got this little mod called anti-roll bales. Oh, you had that problem, have you, Elite? I get that from time to time. Or the other problem I get sometimes late at night is GD is doing a late stream. I don't want to miss a chance of seeing him die. Doesn't matter if that's even a game I'm not a fan of. I just know it's going to happen at some point. Number of times I've opened up on tram lines. Never had a combo and GPS on it yet. Not in the real world. Okay, thanks, Delete. That one should work. Hey Kiki, how are we doing? So there's another grower of canola. Ozzy, what do you think of this stubble? Is this a mod pack? Or modded XMLs? I think it looks a lot more realistic than the standard in-game one. Yeah, that's where all it is missing, but I think it looks a lot better. Good MP map. Medium would be easy, that's Geysersburg, but big equipment does not suit that map, you won't get out of the shop down the road. Greenwich, possibly. the mod contest. There's a really good one for big equipment, what was out early on, but map crashes an MP server, unfortunately. Although there is another version of it out there. The one I wanted to do MP on in 19 was Thuringia Noble, but that kept crashing the MP server, so I couldn't do it. There is another version of it out there, but I don't know if that's MP compatible either. It's got some really big fields on it. Oakfield would work with big equipment, that's for certain. On MP. Must sort this mod out for auto stop on here. Much appreciated, Elite. Thank you very much. No, Movie sent me that yesterday to set up for there. It's a new system PayPal I use, and that works quite well for me. So you understand why I don't want to put my email address up. Very much appreciated, thank you. Yes, it is. Yes, I think you might see my name on there when you go to it. I'm not sure how it works your end. I can certainly see my name on it when I click on it. Yeah, that looked good, Kiki, what you've done there. And that new combine is a lovely bit of kit. Yeah, I put the logo on there so people know that it's genuine, basically. Stop it. That wasn't me, move that forwards. Gotta get this wheel sorted. One second that's working, the next it's not. Yeah, it's a really nice piece of kit. Been lucky enough to spend about a quarter of an hour in it on Friday. Trouble is, that's made me miss driving the things. Morning, Rabbit Man, how are we doing? New wheel is 200. Certainly am, Kiki. It's a fan of the orange ones before them as well. I did have a Renault for a while. Apart from the wheel going wrong, everything else is set up now, Elite. There's nothing else I need. It's just the wheel going wrong, which is thrown up. Which I wasn't expecting at just over a year old. Computer's finished. PC's all done with upgrades and everything now. They are a nice tractor, Stephen. One thing you'll notice with the class is how smooth they ride with the suspension. Because obviously with buying Renault, they inherited their cab suspension doing that. Which I still think is one of the best on the market on a conventional tractor. It is, Rabbit Man. Oh, there we go, I was waiting for that. Most tractors over here Aussie have suspension as standard. The amount of road work we do is colossal in this country with machinery. That too, Rabbit Man. I miss seeing this sort of size combine about though, in this era. So many big farms around this way, we don't see as much of these sizes as we used to. There's the odd Dominator about still. Smaller, odd small Massey, but other than that, we're surrounded by 30 plus foot combines around this way. Okay, catch you later, Terrier. Have a good one. If anyone wants that. That's the wrong button. Let's try that button. Got two buttons close together. I want the mod one, not that one. That one. There we go. If anyone wants this stubble, then it is that link below. Things will come eventually. They're worth setting up, Aussie. They make a huge difference to the game. So it's about a trailer full off here, so that's not too bad. Just one field of wheat now. How did I know that wasn't all going to fit in there? I don't use any shaders, Aussie. A lot of the textures I'm using I've borrowed off other maps where I've liked them. So things like my oat, soybean, canola texture borrowed from the Azena map. Maize textures, forgotten. Plants. Grass textures is grass texture pack off Forbidden Mods, and the stubble one is off Forbidden Mods, what I put in a few moments ago. Also puts the crops into rows. Got one. Thought I was doing too well to miss all the signs. I think Nathan uses shaders from memory, so he'd have a better idea on that one. So you can see what that XML mod has done to the stubble on this barley field. See what wheat yields like now. This barley was phenomenal. They need to be after I've been down the road with this. That's filling up nice and quick. So this field should test the anti-roll valve mod out. Morning Dan, how are we doing? Enjoying the new textures you got there now? Yeah, the yields are a lot better than Seasons. And that field of barley next to the farmyard was over 100,000 litres on there. They work really well when you remember to unzip the folder when you put them in the data folder, don't they? Yeah, I would say so. They seem more realistic anyway. If you had a good field of wheat, you wouldn't expect this combine to get around the field this size. Not without getting a tank full. Morning, Spencer, how are we doing? Yes, they are, Dan. Some are from Mauler trees and some are from placeable trees pack. The birch trees from Mauler trees are seasons compatible. Do not use the birch trees from other packs. Or do what I've done and get all the placeable tree packs, get a test game up and fast forward through the seasons in there with the trees up and you'll see which ones do what. I'm good, thanks. Yeah, there's an oak tree which isn't in that pack though, which comes out of one of the other ones. The oak and the maple are only two what are seasons friendly in the other ones. Yeah, so those oaks come from 17 in obviously. I think all the other trees in these packs are not, well, they're not 19 ones because I've seen what happens to them when I tested them. So all these ones work and more trees. Oh yes, Nathan. The beech tree doesn't work in more trees. Don't know about the palm trees, I won't go try them. The placeable hedge doesn't work. None of these lizard birch trees work. Haven't tried the pines. The poplars don't work. That maple tree does. These birch trees do not. But that oak tree does. And the poplar tree doesn't. Okay, thanks, Kiki. Yeah, I think you found that one, haven't you, Ozzy? Because you try to play Metagroove over the seasons, won't you? I take it the grain is right, but the straw is not, Spencer. Facebook is a good one to send things on, or Discord. it's just easier to change them in at Nathan at times. Not yet, Dan. You'll occasionally see the shop screen pop up still. Yeah, you don't need people like that, Spencer. You need people who understand that when you need to get on, you want to get on. That's why we used to chop a lot of straw in the past where I've worked. Never could wait for baling contracts if we want to get on cultivating or ploughing. Okay, thanks Kiki. I've seen that pop up on my phone. Get that in before we have a tree-based instant with it. Very true, Nathan. Very hard to bale if he hasn't started combine yet. Yeah, that's why a lot of people, when they do that now, have a contract with them to be baled and cleared in X amount of days. Otherwise you put penalty clauses in. I've heard that a few times now. That's how a lot of the veg growers' contracts work around here when they rent land. Be cleared by such a date, otherwise there's clauses in there for loss of yield on future crops. Especially if you get something like leaks. I missed that one. Yeah, they're the sort of people you want to avoid doing business with then. You do that. Didn't hit it, Aussie. I stopped before I hit it. Morning, Jeremy. How are we doing? Can but hope. I'd imagine chance to be a fine thing though. Let's just save that. How many times did you get called out yesterday, dare I ask? Very good question, Lee. Good little climb up there. Interesting to see what the round barrels do there. Obviously not very dry wheat, as there's not a lot of dust coming off the combine here. Ah, it's a busy day then. Yeah, I guess so. How'd your second one do, Nathan? Well, speaks for itself, really. If you consider most of mine get somewhere between 40 and 60 views, yesterday's being an exception. No, still waiting, Jeremy. You watch today, it'll be a late delivery. Interesting one there, Nathan. Cheap field would probably be a good one. Work quite well, I think, with Motherboard if you just put a sheet filled with the water trough or feed trough in it. Face it, not many farms have complete sheep yards everywhere, do they? Is there any way of linking the spawn point up at the sheep yard to them at all? You know more about that than I do. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, Aussie. Spawn point elsewhere. Not necessarily at the same point, but a separate one. Got to think multiplayer as well sometimes. Or even the nearest farmyard where you're going to put the sheep field to work. That's sort of what I just meant then. I'd have a small yard nearby. I'm sure that would work. Tell how much smaller that's getting as you're going around the fields, and not full yet. Nearly. Best way I do think a sheet field sounds like a good plan as opposed to a whole yard. I'll take this one. That sounds an even better plan. You're not the only one who's liking everything you're doing on there, Nathan. Yeah, why not? If you've got a few fields you could rotate your flock around, you're wanting ways of setting your map apart from other people's, that would be one way of doing it. Cows are a bit more complicated, Stephen, unless you do just beef cattle fields. So you've got to have the milk tank, etc. Sheep are the easy one to just do the fields with. Beef cattle would be. But you just know someone will go and put cows in that field and complain, that's the problem. Starting to get to that sort of torturous time here in a minute where I can smell the roast beef cooking. And can you make a field just take the beef cattle? Is there any way of doing that? Have you got to be able to have all the livestock available in that field? All the types of cows, rather. Again, another good idea, Aussie. Just quite frankly how it is done normally. You'd have your fields around the cow yard, you rotate them round. Hey SG. I had a harvest student a few years back who parked the tractor and trailer sort of here when you got that lot above you to try and empty into. He wasn't the brightest, that boy. See if there's somewhere linking the PayPal link into Streamlabs somehow. He was told, I'm not sure if nicely is the right word, I would say in a thoroughly agricultural fashion, he was told not to park it there again. He wasn't doing himself any favours with me that harvest. Especially when he cut through the standing crop to get to the combine when that was nearly full. Might not have been a very wise trip, but he did get a rather interesting telling off for that one from me. I think the neighbours enjoyed hearing it on the CB as well. I think that was part of the job description when we advertised for harvest students. Common sense optional but not required. I was pretty clear as to my feelings on what he'd just done. Let's put it that way. I certainly couldn't repeat it on this live stream. As long as you're a rather silly person, don't you ever do that again? I'll let you fill in the I'm sure you can all imagine the non-PG version of it. I haven't seen Milton Lurkin yet, but he's well aware of what I'm capable of if I lose my rag from TeamSpeak. He certainly learnt very, very quickly that he needs to learn what he should be doing. I would agree with that with at least 50% of them elite. We've had one in the past say to us, what shall I do now? Well, it's the middle of harvest, there's a broom in the grain store. If you can't think of anything else to do or we're not about, and I'm sure 2 and 2 could be put together. We tend to blame the modern educational system. The broom, I had suggested where harvest student could put that a time or two if they didn't behave themselves. With a little help from myself. And not handle end first. And make their eyes water. That's the one, Aussie. The really infuriating one is if you got a bad one on trial of potato harvesting and the harvester was having problems. when you got out of your tractor trying to fix it and they just sit there looking at you. One of the first things we used to tell them was, if the harvester stops and I'm outside, they are to get out and see if I need any help with anything. But preferably do not ask silly questions. What we sort of come to the conclusion of that schools these days tell them what to do every step of the way, so they don't sort of think themselves the same as we used to years ago. Rightly or wrongly. Probably not on this map, Kiki, unfortunately. This is restricted by budget on here. Catch you later. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll take a look at what you sent me. Yeah, I'm sure you'll find that in your profession as well, Jeremy. Explain every step, then get a considerable dose of attitude back from them when they're not sure what to do and they think they know. It's always good if you get someone who's about 14 years old to try and give you a load of attitude because they think they know better than you do. Yeah, I was sort of gathering that, Jeremy, for what I'm seeing as I'm going round. That's the thing, Steve, these days machinery is too expensive to have someone around on it who may cause a lot of trouble. I bet, Jeremy, your vehicle's hardly high ground clearance, is it? I think mine would struggle with some of these swaths this year and get a tangled up prop shaft. And straw wrapped in the cat. The old combining trick so you don't take the swath back through the combine doing it this way. Don't know if it's exactly strict, Stephen, you just know what you want and expect it done that way. Yeah, that's the one, Jeremy. That's why I'm very careful taking my vehicle onto harvest fields. Yeah, unfortunately so, Aussie. don't take well to pranks as well these days either. You know, go to the machinery dealers and ask for a long wait, that sort of thing. Problem you've got, Stephen, is age. Your age is against you when it comes to that sort of thing. Stripe paint, I want tartan paint is another good one. Wire netting seed. Left-handed adjustable. Metric adjustable, although I got someone with that when they suggested I get one. Because my Brittle adjustable span's got a metric scale on them. I thought it was trying to be funny, asked me for a metric adjustable when mine are all got metric measurements on. So that's the second trailer full. I do know of an instance, not a million miles from here, where the owner's son came into the business and on his first day went into the field, said, "I'm now your boss, you know who my dad is, you'll follow my orders in future." Only to be bundled back into his truck by 4 very angry members of staff who'd been working there for years and told what he could do with his suggestion. His father was less impressed, not with his staff, but with his son. He was humiliated in front of his employees next morning because of it. Yeah, take a little while to adjust, Stephen. There's 2 issues in some parts of the agricultural community. A lot of them have it in for youngsters, and some of the older generation have it in for ladies. They think that the man on the premises is always in charge. Well, sometimes nothing could be further from the truth. And the best way to upset a potential customer is to think that. Reassuring, Mystic. Hey Dusty, how we doing? I'm good, thanks. How's that life treating you with your new arrival a few months back? growing rapidly, I imagine. Feeding her on growth hormones, are you? So, what on earth are you putting in her milk to get her to grow like that by any chance? A friend of mine had that said to him. That's the difference, Jeremy. If they know you can do it, it's different. I think that's quite often why I don't get a lot of trouble on training courses, because once I've said what I used to do for a living, sometimes the attitudes change. That's the one. Had somebody who's 7 foot tall on the course the other day. I asked him if his parents used to put him in a grow bag to sleep. We'll get a full trailer off there again. That'll be harvest finished. Just more straw to bale up. Yeah, there is one coming down south, and that's also going over to Ireland in September. Thanks, DD. Much appreciated. Shall be trying to do a bit more in real life ones if I can. I think the next one's a Kent way. Best thing to do is have a look on Class's own pages. Yeah, that is a bit of an animal, that combine, especially when you consider that wasn't even the highest spec that comes in. Still one bigger size of header and grain tank that could have had on it. Yeah, when that can do 180 litres a second, do 18,000 litres in 100 seconds, that's a colossal unload rate. 18,000 litres on that combine translates to 14, just under 14.5 tonnes in 100 seconds. It's any wonder they put a twin speed on it. As we were saying at the demo event a few of us, you wouldn't want an inexperienced trailer driver on there who you didn't trust to start with. So have to be a bit careful to begin with, and you wouldn't want to use low trails as things like oilseed rape coming out of there at that speed. I was emptying into those Stuart trailers alright they had there. Yeah, given the size farm that thing is aimed at, it's chaser bins. That's why they got the twin speed on it, Aussie, so that when your trailer's getting full you can slow it down to the half speed and just top off for that to run the pipe out. No reason to have to leave the pipe loaded. You've got clutches on both the cross augers in the grain tank and the unloading auger. Just 3 electric clutches in there. So you can actually stop it feeding out and just run the auger out. When they said it's had 10 years of planning, 8 years of field testing and 6,000 hours of field testing, that combine, you know they put a lot of work into it. And I do know there's a 7000 series in Norfolk which has been bought. Yeah, you'd never get them to do it though, that's the problem. One of the clients that I'd done some training for was telling me at that demo they do have a 7000 series, but it's not badged as such. They're about to change the numbers on it to match the new range now that's been released. It had to be badged as an old model to start with. No one let the cat out of the bag with it. I try to remember how long it used to take to run my old 4.6 jet, and we thought that was fast. That's something else we were saying at the demo. The dealer's former salesman there was there who retired last year. He said he can remember back in the about 95, 96 going to a Lexion 480 demo locally when they first came out and thinking, wow, because compared to the previous Dominator range, that 480 was something else completely. When you think back then, everyone had been used to the Megas, Commanders, Dominators, then you've suddenly got the Lexion full 80 pairs, absolutely packed full of electronics. A year later, followed by the straw walker ones. That's a 1997 460 I used to drive. Coming off using the 118 occasionally. It's a big step up. Yeah, we never had the TRs over here really, Aussie. Had the TF. I can't remember seeing any TRs about over here. Doesn't mean there weren't any, there just weren't any locally. Still got TF78 working locally. Unless they've changed it this year. Probably just finish this field and I'll be finishing. Haven't heard anything from GD to know if he's going as lunchtime or not yet. That is the problem of a big combine. And that's something what was mentioned that demo day. You've got to be able to keep them fed to get the output out of them. That's the way. That's what a lot of people can't believe when they're getting bad output of combines. Sometimes you need to push it harder. Told a few people that. Don't be afraid to push that stick forward. Sometimes it's more speed they need, not less. I think I did see that one, Elite. So it was fairly late last night when you posted that up there. You're not so limited with front size as what we are though, Aussie, are you, to be fair? Pretty much, Elite, yeah. My average combining speed in wheat with the 460 was 3 to 5 Aussie. Barley I might get 5 to 6 in spring barley. Somewhere around 3 to 5k was the norm. The 460. Might occasionally crept up to 7 in the thin crop. Oats was a good one because you really pushed the combine along in them. Take them as quick as you could get them in. And they fit. I know why GD ain't been in chat, 'cause he's distracted with Minecraft. I'm presuming he's going to go live as lunchtime. as you know, from what we were talking about in your stream the other day, there's a huge difference between what we yield and what you yield. Canola was dreadful at times, so we didn't have canola extensions on our combines. They often had to leave 12 to 18 inch stubble. Oh, I know it's in the DLC. Could be the last thing to be announced, but Class were very public at the fact it's in the DLC on Friday. Tell me straight up, that's why they've left it till now. As you said, they left the whole launch of the Class DLC and the new Lexions was all to be timed in together. And that's our harvest finished. So if they left it all to be timed in together, you can sort of guess why. Yeah, it certainly should be. Yeah, from what he sort of said, it's been planned for a while for them to come in, but they want the new Lexions in game. So if they've been working on these new Lexions for 10 years, you can take from that what you will. If you think about it, why would Class not want their new flagship models in the DLC? They're seeing it as marketing. Exactly, Aussie. And Aussie, they don't want the world to know the new models were coming. So you tie in a real world launch with a virtual launch, what more could you want? The game players get at the same time as the real world. Need to sort the floor out in this shed. I'll have a look in the menu in a minute, see just what our crops have yielded. Yeah, that's all timed just right, Elite. That's what they're saying. FarmCon, the new launch, because the new Lexions were launched in France last week. I think it was last week, just before FarmCon. Along with the UK launch this week, the German launch the previous week, and so on. So everything's just sort of worked out how they wanted. Hey Alexander, how are we doing? Yeah, I think most people are. I'm good, thanks. I still think that the Class DLC has been more eagerly awaited, or Class Combat game has been more eagerly awaited than John Deere for some reason. No problem, Alexander. You see there's two other ones in there if you want to use them. They're all off FS UK. The straw one was in there is the one I'm using on here. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what's gone on with John Deere, to be fair. I still wonder if Class were actually meant to be the big announcement, but they didn't want it to be announced until the new Lexians were coming in, so things got swapped around a bit. That's this straw texture, Alexander, what's in that pack. Yeah, I think there's an element of that as well, DD. Now I mean Alexander knows a bit about this from the past, but I've been involved in scale models for a lot of years now, and John Deere have always been hard to deal with in that industry for getting licenses out of for anything. And I don't know if people are aware, but you won't. A general John Deere license doesn't mean you can do anything you like from it for a particular model. That works the same with the game. Yeah, we know what happened with that, Nathan. Giant's partners did not want it in there, meaning John Deere said no. Yeah, if it's the same price as it is for PC, it's $19.99. I think that's what I paid for it the other day. It is Aussie. I bet you're so disappointed at that. I know you want to see the bales roll everywhere. We tested out properly the other night on here when I done the hay, the other side of the farm on the steepest fields there. the runaway bales. This is the baler I've increased the width of the pickup on, shall we say, and the forward speed. Yeah, there's something just doesn't feel right about this John Deere thing. There's so much kit they could have in there, but we've got practically nothing from John Deere's range. And you and I both know that someone's done some nice John Deere mowers. The John Deere mowers should have been in game to start with. That would make more sense, Aussie, in some ways. John Deere have a massive back catalogue of stuff you could have. Mowers, seeders, sprayers, combines. You know, I wouldn't mind seeing an old John Deere 1075, 1178 combine in game. They're a popular combine locally. 3350s, 6810s, 6910s. Hey Formal, how are we doing? I'm good, thanks. Could. Didn't realise you're old enough to remember that, Aussie. That's all these round bales for the dairy farm. Typical. So the problem is auto stop, it will literally stop where you want it, where you don't want it to. Times. Chance of that getting wedged in there. The wheels decided to have a mind of its own again now, obviously. Yeah, and Nathan will tell you about console testing. Unfortunately, it's not just console testing, it's the attitude of some of the console community as well which gets people. The minority group is spoiling things for the majority. I've actually come off a lot of the Farm Sim Facebook pages now due to it. I would agree with that one, unfortunately. Yes, it'd be nice if they did, but and for those that don't know, when I was first playing Farm Sim, I was a PS4 player. So just over a year ago I went to PC. So just accept what I was given mod wise, what was there. Never made a fuss about it. Just have to accept that it isn't Giant's fault stuff can't come to console, it isn't modders' fault, it's Sony and Microsoft. And welcome along, John Dare. And there's one or two people in particular who every time a modder puts a picture up of something, they reply with that. And they wonder why they get slightly bad tempered. Pretty much why I built a PC as well. Oh yes, formal. I mean, some of the comments the PC guys make as well when someone's having problems with a PC are ridiculous. Not everyone can afford a top of the range PC, they just have to play what they've got. Doesn't mean you need to be rude and insulting to them. My first PC wasn't exactly a rocket ship, but I used to play it and that's all that mattered to me. Okay, it's a bit more of a rocket ship when I sold it on, after the things I'd done to it, but I believe the new owner has turned it into more of a rocket ship. Yeah, I don't like this PC versus console business. It just creates a big rift in the community. We're all players of the same game, so it should be we can all get along and have the same opinions on things. Even if PC does get more mods, well, that's up to Sony and Microsoft to sort out. Bear in mind this bail is not standard. I've upped the forward speed and I've widened the pickup in the XML files. There are, Jeremy. Not yours, of course, that's not a dodgy one. Had a very good first owner who lovingly gave it a new CPU and bigger power supply and this baler is worth using though. I've had it since it first came out. Before the variable bale capacity mod was out, this one will release anything above 2,000 litres without the variable bale capacity mod. I still haven't redeemed the code what came with my CPU actually for the Division 2. That's still in my email somewhere. Brakes are good. Shouldn't have to do that, but needs must. Yeah, I'm just really doing this as an experiment to see what we can get running as standard with seasons. Oh yeah, search the email you got from the seller formal. I know this CPU and GPU combination will play things at a fantastic rate, especially now I put quicker RAM in. A bit of research will find out that Ryzen needs higher speed RAM than some to work better. Yeah, I would be too, Nathan. I mean, this is currently doing anything around sort of 100-ish. If that's unlocked. Depends which way you're looking. If you look away from the farm, it's better. There's a lot of trees, straw and bales there, so I was expecting that. You just run it locked at 60. Yeah, I bet, Nathan. Not yet, hopefully, Elite. I want to see what this looks like with snow on it. Funny enough, I actually got more problems with screen tearing when it was locked. At times. Now I'm on a higher refresh rate monitor, it's fine. Yeah, I've got lots of different textures in there, John Deere. Lots of textures. The stubble you're seeing here is a XML mod, the straw is a texture mod. Got different maze textures on here which were not in the ones I sent to you last night, Dan. I've done them since then, if you're still lurking. The soybeans different texture, canola's different texture, oats are a different texture on here. Grass is definitely a different texture. What refresh rate have you got then, Aussie? Because the one I play on is 144. The second monitor is a 75. And they do, if you haven't got a very big graphics card, they will absolutely slaughter FPS. Particularly the grass texture. I'm getting a bit annoyed with the steering wheel at the minute. That new one needs to hurry up and get here. Ah. That would explain why you're getting the screen tear then. When you unlock it. Anyone who's looking at a new monitor, I'd highly recommend the MSI curved ones. That's what my main one is now. My old main monitor is now my second one. My old second monitor is now sitting up the corner of the room waiting its fate. Yeah, I couldn't quite stretch for 4K one. That'll be the last upgrade I do, I think, with getting another MSI 27-inch but a 4K one. I was told the MSI one would work well, especially as it had an MSI graphics card. Second monitor is very useful, Nathan. When I first had the PC, I used to run off my 42-inch TV as well. It's on the wall behind me, in here. And I got the desk and wheel and everything, couldn't do it like that anymore. It's alright when I used to use Xbox controller. I think they're about £350 here for a 27-inch with 4K and 144. 350 to 450 for the MSI one. Then which spec you go for? Hey Milton, how are we doing? Yeah, I'll still try to find one of them, Nathan. Taxman steals mine twice a year. I'm good, thanks. You could make it a mod, Nathan, money tree mod. Go with the government subsidy one. Surprised no one's thought of that as a joke mod. The money tree gives you so much every hour. Save again. That should be fun, Aussie. You just have different sized trees for different amounts every hour. Use some like more trees pack as a base. Small birch tree give you so much, big birch tree gives you a lot more. Seems to be a lot of round bales on here. So there's 98 of barley bales over the hedge last night when we done them. be lots and lots of bales to clear up very shortly on here. Got one more day of autumn yet to get through before into winter. Not yet, Milton. You'll still see the shop screen pop up occasionally. Like that. Just think of the size swath we get behind the ideal on there. How many times we'd be stopping for bales there. Right, I'm going to get this field baled, then that's where I'll be finishing. So I don't know if GD is streaming or what he's up to. Been distracted by Minecraft all morning, where I've seen him every time I've been on Discord. Probably stream again later as well today, but by which time the new wheel will be here. Very shortly you have to be having the roast beef lunch, so I can't be late for that. Okay, catch you later, Lee, and thanks for your generous donation a little while ago. Much appreciated. A nice joint of beef brisket in the oven. It's my lunch. I put in 3 hours ago. It's going to be cooked nicely. once we've done this field at how many bales we've got, but also what we've got in the grain store. Didn't say how big the joint was, Milton. And can we find enough stuff to get this up to 2000? Doubtful. No way there's 400 litres of straw lying about in this field anyway. I think we cleared this other one up pretty well as well. Short behind another field. Alright, let's see what we've actually got then. 65 round bales. So 3 trailerfuls will take that down to the dairy farm. We've now done 482 bales on here since we started. So we're doing well. And in storage, 63,269 litres of wheat off that field. So 122,266 to that, 71,180 there, and 25,229 of soy. No oats though. The prices are going up, which is good. What wool is up to at the moment? Going down. Where's wool? Bad. Pretty bad. So we now straw them down when we go down there. Oh, that one's now fertile. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 are our Holsteins do. Okay, catch you later, Aussie. Thanks for stopping by today. We know the sheep have been breeding. So we've got a few youngsters in here. Got 6 youngsters. They need straw as well. I do need to look at the selling weights of these to see when we need to swap them out for young ones again. See what they're worth, so we know we're fattening them for their obvious demise. But that's where I am going to be finishing for now, so I'll be back again a bit later. But for now, I'm going to say thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed this stream. And I'll see you again in the next one. Goodbye for now.